All right, folks, we are making arguably one of the foods with the worst reputations of all time, risotto. But it's amazing. It's kind of like me. I have a really bad reputation, but I'm amazing. So we're gonna break this down. We're gonna keep it simple. Risotto, people think it takes forever. It's easy to screw up. It's really not crazy. You pay attention to a few keys, it makes itself. Where do we begin? Let's first begin by acknowledging the fact that these pans are beautiful. These are really old, but they are really clean, and I like that, and that's just something to acknowledge and appreciate in life. So let's talk about our basic setup here. Risotto, rice. It's just a creamy, starchy rice dish, and it takes a lot of effort, but we're gonna get there. The setup is interesting. So we're gonna start by toasting some rice. We're gonna toast it off, we're gonna flavor it, we're gonna give it some aromatics, we're gonna start cooking it. But as opposed to normally cooking rice where you just dump a bunch of water in, cover it, let it cook itself, we're gonna slowly incorporate liquid in stages, little batches, spoonful at a time, and constantly agitating it. We're gonna release that starch. That's what makes it creamy. So it's kind of a dual setup here. We have our rice pan, our main dish pan, and then we have a pot of stock. And this is gonna be an herb, Parmesan sort of aromatic lemon risotto, primarily herb and Parmesan. It's great, it's simple, it's elegant. And on that note, you can use whatever liquid you want, really. You can use water if you want to play around with the flavors, the additives, you can just stick with water. We're using stock here. You can splash a little wine in there if you want, maybe do that in your other pot. The liquid pot is really a good chance to harness a lot of flavors and develop the depth. So, but the key is whatever you use, you gotta make sure it's seasoned properly, it's salty enough. It's really your only chance to appropriately season the risotto safely. And if you just putting plain stuff in here, you're liable to get a little bit of a bland risotto. So in our little stock pot, I'm not gonna tip it too much because I don't want it to spill, but we have a lovely chicken stock. You could use vegetable, we're using chicken here, we make it ourselves. And I threw some thyme in with the stock, some whole sprig thyme. I just want those aromatics to fully release, all that oil to release into the stock. You can and we will add some leaf thyme into the dish itself, but you're really liable to make it too pungent and add too many herbs actually. So I like to do it in the stock so that way the flavor absorbs into the rice, it's seasoned properly, evenly, safely. What I will do, even though stock's already a little seasoned, I'll drop a little bit of salt and I'm gonna give it just a tiny crack of pepper. And again, we're just developing some flavor, just making it a little zippy, a little interesting. And then, here's something interesting, and I know I'm jumping the gun, but I wanna get some garlic in this dish eventually, whole clove garlic. It's kind of hard to do that, to incorporate garlic in risotto in the rice pan. There's a lot of heat going on, you're liable to burn the garlic, or it just you get a big chunk of garlic and then you're eating the risotto, you think it's a grain of rice, you bite into the garlic, no one likes you and wants to talk to you the rest of the night. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give that garlic a hard smash. Spoiler alert, I didn't mean to smash it that hard, but it actually worked out great. So a little smash of garlic, I'm gonna drop it right into the stock. That way we don't have big pieces, we don't burn it, but we get that garlic flavor through and through. Holy smokes, it already smells really good. So like I said, ultimately we're gonna be cooking the rice in this pan and ladling a ladle at a time of liquid, stirring, agitating, developing a risotto. So we're gonna start that process by just toasting off a little rice. And notice that this is not a super hot pan to begin with. I'm gonna throw down some olive oil, quite a bit. And I wanna get this rice in here and just start toasting. So this is a really short grain rice. Traditionally it would be a borio. That's really good Italian rice, but I think this is just like a sushi rice, like a really short grain. The key is you don't want something super long. The shorter the grain, it's gonna be starchy, it's gonna be nice. So I'm gonna toast that rice a little bit. You know what, just do all of it, why not? We love it. So, and by toasting it, what we're actually doing, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're developing a little bit of a toasty flavor on these grains, but we're actually making it so that the grains of rice will have a little bit of an oily coating. and it won't absorb the liquid right away. So the inside of the grain of rice will cook at the same rate as the outside. Because if that water just blitzes that grain of rice, you're gonna get a mushy outside and a raw inside. So not only does this develop a little flavor, it helps it cook really evenly. And we have quite a bit of heat. It's gonna start popping a little bit. I like that. And truthfully, I like to get a little bit of color, a little aggressive, but I think it's nice. Toast that off. Traditionally, full disclosure, we're gonna add some onion in here. It probably would have been smart to get that onion in the oil first, sweat it down a little bit, and then add the rice, but that would not have been very good for our timing in this lesson. So I made the executive decision to do it in this stage. So, but at home, I would add the onion first. So as our rice is toasting and as our stock is getting nice and warm, let's just break down this onion a little bit. And this was already pre-cut, so I'm gonna do my best to give this a little bit of a fine dice. That's probably enough. In fact, that's probably a little too much. So this is hard to dice an onion. I was already pre-cut, but we're doing it. You just don't, what you don't want is a bunch of big pieces. So that, my friends, is good enough for me. So our rice is toasting, our onion's good. Our stock is at a pretty heavy, well, it should be at a simmer. You don't want it to be too hot. You don't want to totally blast this rice, but you want a little bit of a simmer. All right, our rice is toasty, toasty, toasty. All right, so I'm gonna get our onion in there right now. And because we're using a shallow pan and we don't have a ton of risotto, this is gonna cook pretty fast. It's not gonna be the 2-hour risotto that you've heard everyone talk bad about. And as you start sweating these down, so you'll notice that rice is toasted now, really heavily toasted. Whatever liquid we add first to this is really gonna absorb. So, in other words, if you wanna add a little bit of splash of wine or maybe a little acid or something interesting, now would be a good time to do it because that's really gonna be a huge flavor profile. Whatever hits this first is really gonna be absorbed. I'm not using wine because we have kids at home. You know, we don't need to be using wine, but I will get a little chicken stock. Oh my gosh. So just get it in there, and you'll notice there's so much heat going on, that's gonna absorb really fast. Especially on that first one, when that rice is really thirsty. And that onion right now is raw, but there's so much heat, it will cook. So I'm not worried. I don't want the onion to develop color. I just want it to sweat. I just want the onion flavor. So let's get our heat back up. And like I said, a little constant stirring and just ladleful at a time. Let it almost completely reabsorb between batches of stock. Oh boy. We could have added some butter to this. You know what I will add is just a little bit of olive oil. Before we have too much liquid in there, get some in there. I like the flavor of olive oil. And I'm keeping this pure. I'm not adding the herbs to this yet. I don't want the herbs to like really cook and wilt and turn brown. I want to keep this clean, keep it fresh. There's enough flavor in our stock, that's fine. We'll hit it with the herbs and the lemon afterward. So notice, now we're absorbing a little bit. We're getting drier. A lot of people say that you should be able to drag your spoon across and not have it come back to the middle. So that's what it's doing right now. That's how we know we're probably good for another batch of stock. I'm not going crazy with the stirring. I'm not sitting here doing it super fast. I'm just letting it absorb a little bit of agitation. There'll be plenty of time to make this really creamy. And we're gonna add that Parmesan and it's gonna just really thicken up. So right now, what I'm worried about is just even cooking. There we go. Folks, this is gonna be something special. What I'm hoping more than anything is that we have enough stock. So I didn't measure that out, but it'll be fine. We love it. Oh man. You know what I will do? So while this is doing its thing, I'm gonna crack a little bit more pepper. because pepper's full of oil, and I want to expose that oil to a really high temperature and let it really harness, really bloom. There we go. A lot of heat going on, quite a bit, but that's good. And we salted the stock. We're gonna get some salt from the Parmesan. There's plenty of time to season this. Getting a little dry. Here we're going with another ladle. We could have put some mushrooms in this. We're doing herbs. Gosh, the possibilities for risotto are pretty endless. And it's just good because it's a nice vehicle it's a nice side dish. It's a nice vehicle for other flavors. People get sick of mashed potatoes. They get sick of pasta. Risotto is just a nice little treat. This is pretty warm. But like I said, because this pan is nice and shallow, large surface area, it's gonna cook pretty quick. Our onions are starting to really become translucent, really cook. Oh boy. And like I said, you're having a dinner party. Look at me, I'm not talking to anyone. You get sick of the conversation, someone brings up politics, all you gotta say is, hey, I gotta cook the risotto. I can't talk right now. I gotta focus. And they'll think you're a jerk at first, and then they'll taste the risotto and be like, you know what, he was right. He had his priorities in line. There we go, maybe sip some wine. And just think about things that are important to you, something you might want to do with your life. Maybe you always want to take that trip. There we go, now this is where it's starting to cook a little bit. And this is where I'm gonna give this a little agitation. And you're gonna see this cream. So risotto, it looks like a creamy sauce. You would almost think that you're adding cream and milk and a bunch of dairy. We're not adding any dairy aside from a little bit of Parmesan cheese. The cream comes from the starch of the rice releasing and making a thick consistency to your risotto. Here we go. Boy. And this is where I'm going to actually use a little bit of a smaller spatula, because I want to really make sure I'm getting a nice fast motion at this point. Now we're at the point where we can afford a little speed to our stirring. Always maintaining a little bit of moisture in there, never letting it get completely dry, but... And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit, because we don't have much longer to cook this. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid, and I want to start breaking down some of our herbs and getting that ready, because before we know it, it's going to be too late. So I have a little bit of basil. It's not looking super fresh, so I'm only going to get the good leaves. You won't waste that though, don't you worry. I'm going to give that just a little bit of what's called a chiffonade, so just ball it up a little bit. And just a little bit, we don't need a ton of basil. And then for the thyme sprigs, for thyme you sort of just pick these little leaves off. And you can sort of, if you get a nice good one, you can sort of drag your finger against the grain and you'll get some leaves. But again, same with the basil, same with the moral of the story, we don't need a ton. There's going to be a lot of flavor in here. I'm going to do just a little bit more thyme. And then, I don't want the lemon juice. I don't really want a lot of acid in this personally, and I don't really love lemon, but I want an essence of lemon. So that's when a nice zester, you know what? I'm actually going to use the same cheese grater. That's when a nice zester comes in. So I'm just going to zest a little bit of lemon, just use a little grater, and I'm just putting this right onto the herbs. I'm stacking everything up. I'm fine with that. This is not the greatest zester in the world. I know what I'm putting on my Christmas list. But hey, we love it. There's a little bit of lemon zest. And then I'm going to get some cheese ready. Let's do this on the cardboard. And you got to be careful. Whenever you're adding cheese to risotto, you got to keep in mind, one, it's salty, and two, it's going to want to really tighten it up. So you don't want to add too much. It almost becomes like wet cement, like sludge. You got to be careful. Oh, folks, we are pretty darn close. Get some heat back under this. And this is where. So our grains right now are pretty darn near cooked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep agitating this. Yeah, see how fast that batch turned right up? And you want the final consistency to be a little loose. Looser, they should not be like mashed potatoes. They should be a little bit loose, a little bit saucy. Kind of helps get that pan up, get it moving. This is where I'm going to get, while there's still a lot of heat in there, I want to get the herbs in. There we go, come on. One more ladle, because like I said, I have yet to add that cheese. The minute I add that cheese, it's gonna tighten up a lot. It might not look super creamy right now, but just wait. And I'm not salting it anymore because that's what the Parmesan's gonna do. Our grains, the rice itself still needs a little bit more cooking, so that's why I'm not afraid to add a little bit of stock to it. Boy, I told you, when you make a risotto, you kind of go brain dead. I forgot there was a camera in front of me. I've been looking down for 20 minutes. I was completely in my own world. I forgot anyone was in the room. I was talking out loud, but I was not. All I was thinking about was a risotto. I was not thinking about looking at the camera. I was not thinking about anything else in my life. The last thing I want to do is overcook this rice. I'm going to start by getting a little cheese in there, see what that does for us. Oh yeah. There we go. Now let's go on with them. I might like to add a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes in this, make it nice and spicy. That, my friends, is lovely, lovely risotto. I'm going to finish it with just a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper, and you're going to want to serve this fresh. It doesn't serve very well after a while. You could chill it and let it set up and then make arancini, which is like a little bit of a fried rice ball. It kind of forms like a little bit of a dough after it sits, but why not? Add some more cheese. I realized I was woefully cutting you short of the pleasure that cheese provides in life. there is a beautiful risotto. Creamy, herbaceous, aromatic. Put that on your plate. Maybe a little ossobuco, maybe a little pork loin. That's gonna be good eating. Sorry for the cheese mess. That's what happens when you get a little carried away with the cheese. It's all in good attention. It's all worth it. The kids at home love it. The women love it. So make some risotto. Not that hard. It took 20 minutes. Ignore everyone else. And don't talk to anyone else while you do it. Just be with yourself. Be with your feelings. Good luck. Enjoy.